Welcome back to CyberSecurity Today. I'm Emily Hashi. My next guest is the CEO of Solve Limited. He's based in the DC, Virginia, and Maryland area. Welcome, Rick Rudolph. Rick, hi, it's good to see you.
Well, thank you. Very nice to see you as well.
Welcome to Los Angeles.
Well, thank you.
So before we jump into talking about cybersecurity issues specifically, why don't you just tell us a little bit about who you are and your company and the kind of clients that you serve?
Well, Solve is an IT support provider. We specialize in providing cybersecurity solutions across all of the platforms we support, be they cloud, on-premise, remote type locations. We also support all different disparate types of technologies and try to provide a single point of contact and responsibility to our clients for those technologies, whether we're managing a vendor or actually managing the devices or the systems ourselves.
How long have you been working with Solve?
We've been in the business for about 28 years now and had really started focusing on the managed service side of the business, which is really providing all of these services at a fixed flat monthly fee for our clients to kind of get away from the roller coaster ride of break fix is what we call it in the industry. So we really try not to do that for clients. We much prefer to give them a good solid product all the way through.
So you provide full service all the way through. You don't just come in when there's a problem. You're sort of there all the time, every day.
Oh no, we don't want to be there when there's a problem. We want those problems not to happen.
Not to happen.
And so that's really our focal point. And we really want the clients to be involved and engaged with us because we cannot do it by ourselves. So that's also really important to us.
Yeah. So I know that you've helped a lot of people in the past, and I'm sure that you've seen some crazy things come down the pike. Can you tell us a little bit about the kinds of attacks that you've seen or the kinds of security issues that you've seen come up and how you've handled them?
Oh, we see a broad variety. It's very interesting that if we were to turn off a port on a router, and as far as protection, just to open it up, it will be attacked in a matter of seconds by somebody. People are scanning networks all the time looking for open ports. But in a more general sense or in a more everyday sense, we deal with phishing attacks, ransomware attacks, people stealing your electricity, and maybe you ask how you can do that. People will put something on your computer and use your computer to do crypto mining. And so essentially, they're using your electricity and your computer processing power in order to add some small amount of money, and you get enough people to do that with, you can actually make a fair amount of money at it. So there's a number of ways folks can invade you, and that's what they're doing. We really try to prevent that.
So they're just like using your computer as if it were their own sort of power source?
Oh yes, and many times people will use a computer as what we call a vector. And so that might be an attack point. And so if you're in a Eastern Bloc country in Europe, you might be geocode blocked from a firewall. And so people know that by their IP address, they know where you are, generally. So they don't want to let Eastern Europeans in. They don't let them in. But if they can backdoor into a system, any system in the States, now they have a footprint in the United States and they can start their attack.
That's fascinating. So what would you then say to people who want to protect themselves from this kind of thing? Like what piece of advice would you give to people who are trying to protect their business, trying to protect their data, trying to protect their machines?
I think in general, I would say it's not one and done. They are constantly attacking. The attacks are morphing all of the time. It's very much like a layer cake. Yesterday's attacks don't stop. They just add new ones, different types of attacks, different characteristics of attacks. And so you need to be engaged on a regular basis. You need to be open with your IT support folks with regards to what you're doing in your business units, how those are changing. We have clients who change what they're doing all the time and don't pick up the phone and tell us. It's the most miserable thing. And all of a sudden you're dealing with this new issue we didn't know existed, they didn't know existed. So it's important to have those open dialogues constantly. We also would say to you that if you think you have anything, any potential, just pick up the phone. It takes a minute to talk that through. The other thing that's happened to us in the last 20 years is we used to have a single local area network. It was easy to protect, basically. And all the data was in one place, all the applications were in place. You just had to protect it. Now the endpoints are everywhere. Every time a client hires a new employee, they've probably added 5 new places to really protect.
Vulnerabilities.
Yes, exactly. Their laptops, their phones, so on and so forth. So it's really become quite more, just much more difficult.
It's everywhere, and it's multiple devices across multiple people. And
it's everywhere, and the people that we're using for our applications today, it's no longer something that you buy, you install, you configure it, make it work. It's now become something that it's a service. Maybe it's a cloud portal, a provider, and they may be doing a great job, but they're controlling the programs themselves. The data may be on another cloud. You have just outsourced maybe a core business operation that really you need every second of the day without the ability to do anything about it when it breaks. So it's important to have those conversations as well. It's not just about cybersecurity, it's about operational efficacy and availability and all those types of issues.
Right, right. So in sort of looking into the future, seeing the kinds of threats that are coming down the pike, obviously we're a lot more connected than we've ever been before. What do you see happening next? What should people be on the lookout for now when thinking about their security?
Well, let's start with the low-hanging fruit, the stuff that we already know about, the ransomware, the phishing attacks, all those kinds of rootkit things that you may read about in the news. They're really easy. I would consider relatively easy stuff. What I see coming down the road, though, are more focused attacks. Artificial intelligence being used for cyber attacks. Think of Google as it relates to an attack. If one were able to assemble all the information that's out there about a company, all of its employees, all of its vendors, supply chain, its customer chain, and all of that, and one had a very specific goal in mind, you could use AI to assemble all this data and develop your game plan. I see that as next.
Wow, that's pretty scary stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so too.
What steps can a company take to protect themselves from that sort of thing?
Protection is an ever-changing process, right? But
Right.
you need to have that process. If you don't have the process, you don't have a chance. So you need to have those discussions. You need to be current with all those types of normal, everyday protections. What in our industry, we call a zero-day threat. That's something one can't. If you're the first one to be attacked by something, it's kind of tough to be prepared for it. And so there's no guarantee that you're going to be 100%. But it's as important as protecting yourself is having a plan. When your protection fails, what do we do now?
Right.
And our lexicon, we have backup, we have disaster recovery, which is a process of getting you back to where you were. And then we have business continuity. And that could be organizational continuity, a nonprofit or something like that. But how do we conduct our operations while our stuff is all messed up? Most of it is just simple planning. But we need leadership in the organization to identify and prioritize what's the most important. And it could be something that an IT person would never think of. But this is really the number one thing, is that if everything's gone to...
This is our must-have.
Yes, we must have this, exactly. And so what do we do to make sure that happens? What's our plan? You need a written plan. You need to practice a plan. In sports they say, practice like you play and play like you practice, right? No difference than IT security. It's really, you can't be ready unless you go through the drills, you check your plan, you do it. So that's my advice on that.
This has been so great. I wish we had more time to talk and chat more, but we're out of time. Before we go, why don't you tell our audience where they can reach you? What's the best way to get in touch with you?
Well,
how can they
our
learn more?
website's probably where the most information is for somebody. They certainly can reach me on LinkedIn. And for those folks whose computers may be down, just call us. We'll have someone live answer the phone. They will get you to someone as quickly as they can that can really come out and help you.
An actual live telephone call. That's awesome. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Really appreciate it. And we will be right back after these messages.